Ten tournament in Madison Square Garden, I guess to honor Rutgers, since Rutgers the only team from up that way that's in the Big Ten. So I told them in his chat room, don't be surprised if Rutgers make it to the Big Ten final. And they was almost there. They won their first 2 games and just barely lost the 3rd game. You know? They only needed to win that 3rd game and they would have been heading that way. But Purdue beat them. Purdue beat them and knocked them out. And look where Purdue was at. You see what I'm saying? So you know, hey man, big up to the University of Rutgers, you know, out of Jersey. And Big L talk shit about Rutgers basketball, but I ain't see Arkansas doing shit. I can't wait for the SEC tournament so we can see. Chief asked Michael Wade what EEC he think his Syracuse squad gonna get. S a period in between EEC. C, yeah, okay. What seed do he think is what seed you think Syracuse gonna get, man? They gonna be in the playoffs.
Anywhere from 12 to 14.
They that bad this year?
They're not that bad, but they're not that good, Chief.
What's going on?
Like I said, it also depends on what they do. You know, in the ACC tournament, they're going to depend on their seed. And I would rather us get a 12 because 12 is normally upset the number 5 seed. But yeah, you remember last year Syracuse got jobbed and we didn't even get into the playoffs, and we shouldn't have got in the year before and got in and went all the way to the Final Four. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see, man.
Yeah. One last question about college basketball. I mean NBA basketballs. What do you think of JR throwing that soup on the coach, man?
Well, Damon Jones, he's a former player. He's not too far removed from the game. And even as a player, he was always like a jokester / antagonist. I just think he was probably playing around with JR, and JR just ain't want. He wasn't in the mood that day, And he probably told him to chill. Damon Jones ain't want to chill, and next thing you know, you got oodles and noodles flying across the room.
But you know what, Michael?
I don't really take too much from it. This is somebody who formerly was his peer. You picture this, Chief. Somebody who you've been working with as a colleague for 5 years, right? Y'all been kicking it, laughing, joking, all of that other stuff. And now all of a sudden they get a job in management and they want to be all extra bossy on you. And like, man, we was just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you know what I mean? So I don't really take too much out of it. It was more clickbait than anything. I mean, they suspended him internally. So I don't know what the conversation was over, but I know Damon Jones is really like an antagonist / jokester. So he probably was playing around, and JR was just in one of his moods where he ain't playing too well, so he wasn't trying to hear it.
Right. I'd have whooped JR ass, man. It was super hot. That's like Al Green getting them grits thrown on him. Fuck that, man.
For real.
I would not. And now they want to fuck with me, man. Listen, man, I'm telling you, I just came off a goddamn cold. Right? I need some water. Hey, intern. I need some goddamn water right now and whatnot. Here goes KC, right? Because Ruff made acknowledges of what I said, right, about Rutgers, the University of Rutgers, right? Here goes KC. True, Ruff Buff. I didn't know if Chief was talking about ROCKA Park or Rutgers University. Man, y'all go to hell. That's what y'all do. We got Clutch Talk Sports in the house. Give me some water. Clutch Talk Sports in the house. What's up, Clutch? Clutch got a nice little show going on too, man. But I was Damon Jones. I would have whooped his ass, and they would have had to keep that in house because I would have whooped his ass so bad. They would have been wondering why did JR come to the game and shit with a band-aids over the top of his eye, a big knot up under the bottom of his eye, and he limping.
The ass whooping probably was coming next. I'm pretty sure they probably got him between them before he got to put paws on him.
Yeah, definitely
it would have been the whole Blake Griffin, Matthias Testy situation all over again.
Yeah. So this is the last subject I'm about to get with on the situation, right? With the combine, right? They praise these quarterbacks, right, to be on top, to do this and do that, right? But everybody that's shining is outside of the quarterback. You got the running back shining. You got the receivers shining. You even got the tight ends and the linemen shining. in the combine, but you don't hear nothing much about the quarterbacks. What happened?
I don't think they really were too impressive. I mean, well, first of all, you got quarterbacks throwing the receivers that they don't really know, so you expect them to do better at their pro days. But all the other, I've heard a lot of folks, who play the game say, hey, man, I'm looking at a whole lot of players outside of these quarterbacks that are better than these quarterbacks. Look at Saquon Barkley, man. His measurables, and I said this on 100 Yards of Football on Saturday, bruh, he lifted more reps than Joe Thomas.
Right.
Who's an offensive lineman. He is faster than Devin Hester, quicker than Deshaun Jackson, and jumps higher than Julio Jones. Saquon Barkley.
Right.
And I'm going to preach that till the damn cows come home. If I'm Cleveland, his name is already on the sheet. You don't even need to start the clock or none of that. His name is already on the sheet, and then you can circle back and if I'm Cleveland, because I see how everybody's disrespecting Lamar Jackson, if I'm Cleveland, this is what I do. I pick up Saquon Barkley with the number 1 pick. I pick up Bradley Chubb with the number 4 pick. I circle back with the number 1 pick in the second round and get Lamar Jackson because he's probably still going to be there.
Oh, yeah. I heard that Lamar Jackson may get picked, right? And this was some big-time rumors, right, by the Giants in that 4th pick in the second round.
Man, that'd be great. Not for somebody like the Philadelphia Eagles, who probably gonna have to chase him around in a couple years. But that'd be great for the Giants organization, man. I especially with Lamar Jackson, being the fact that I kind of like the fact that he's being disrespected only because I saw how it worked out for Deshaun Watson. You got a dude who came off 2 games shredding Alabama, one of them with a national championship, and then they was disrespecting him in the draft and the combine and all that stuff. Ended up falling all the way to number 12 to Houston. Houston picks him up, and then, was probably going to be the rookie of the year before he got hurt. He was even an MVP candidate at the time he went at Deshaun Watson, right? And now you got somebody like Lamar Jackson because everybody want to say, oh, he might not be this, he may not be that. He may fall into a situation to where he's playing for a team to where they don't got to throw him necessarily into the fray. The team isn't really so bad, that they stink. And maybe he sit. Can you imagine Lamar? What if Lamar Jackson is still sitting there in Jacksonville's time to draft? You mean tell me you wouldn't take Lamar Jackson? You just restructured Blake Bortles. You can let him sit a year behind Blake Bortles. Say, hey, everything you see Blake Bortles do that goes to the other team, don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like depending on where he goes, you sit for a year, or even if you go to a situation where if Denver drafted Lamar Jackson right now, I think they'd be right back on top of their division. Lamar Jackson is better than every quarterback they had last year, and other than the mental aspect of it, he is better than Peyton Manning when they won the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl. He threw 18 interceptions that year and only like 9 touchdowns. And
teams are starting to see that, man. Tiffany Sports and Hills want to know why y'all release Torrey Smith. And there's one more. Bama Boy said, watch your mouth, watch your tone. I'm talking about Julio.
He might have been saying that when I said Deshaun shredded Alabama twice. Well, hey, Torrey Smith, your services are no longer needed. You're no longer needed, sir. Signed a 1-year deal. Yeah, he had some big time catches for us, down the stretch. But he also had some big time drops. That's Torrey Smith's second Super Bowl. He got one with Baltimore. Now he got one with us. Your services are no longer needed, sir.
Right. And
it was a nice season, baby. So we'll send you a ring in the mail.
Well, you know what, man? People in the chat talking about that Gutterman, the general manager for the Giants, will not pick him. Well, Gutterman, that ninja, and I'm referring to you, right? What Gutterman did?
The one that decided to start Geno?
No, Gutterman wasn't there then. He wasn't there yet.
That's right.
That was the coach's decision. But Gutterman was in Charlotte. That's Charlotte. This is a whole new ball game when you come over here and work for the goddamn Giants. Giant football is totally different from Carolina. That's why we got 4 Super Bowls and they only got 1. All right? Okay? So, as far as me saying what I'm saying, I'm getting facts. If any quarterback out here could tutor Jackson, right, as far as him doing what he do in the pocket, and that's Eli. Eli the only motherfucker that stay in that pocket. I don't give a fuck how many times he getting hit, he don't get hurt. Alright? When the last time you ever knew Eli been hurt?
He ain't never been hurt.
All right then. Case closed.
And when he was hurt, and when he was hurt, he played hurt.
So the Giants said if they get a bat and number 2 pick, which they hope in Cleveland just overlook Barkley for some reason or another. If they get Barkley number 2, their second pick in the second round will be Lamar Jackson, because they don't see the other quarterbacks is just like David Webb is better than other quarterbacks. They're trying to say, and they have David Webb. David Webb, W-E-B-B. Yeah. We got DJ Knox in the house. What's up, DJ Knox?
That's another thing. Like how high the Giants on Davis Webb? Like you just drafted the quarterback last year. You know, do they go ahead and get another one, or you know?
They're not.
I mean, it would be in their best interest, because I don't think they married to him. And like you said, now this is a new regime. It's not Gettleman's pick. I mean, Davis Webb wasn't Gettleman's player. So
let me explain this to you. Being that I didn't really want to talk about the Giants, but let me explain this to you, right? Okay, this is going to be Eli last year, because next year is an option year, and the Giants are not going to pick up that option. So this is his last year. So you got Webb there, right? And if they get another quarterback, because they want to have 2 young quarterbacks on the squad and get tutored this year by Eli, so that next year come along, them 2 quarterbacks can battle for the starting job. Webb will have advantage of whoever they draft this year, right, due to the fact that he's been there the whole last season. And then this will be his second season. So that's their plan. They plan on structuring their team with 2 young quarterbacks being there next year, and have this outstanding running back this year, so they can make some noise this year. So next year, hey man, it'd just be like rock and roll, brother. You know? But we gonna be in Atlanta this year, and I guarantee you we'll be here, man.
Yeah, I mean, Chief, the one thing about you everybody know is you confident about your team. So my question is, if y'all down here, you going to the game?
Yeah, I'm going. We down here we down here week 13.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I remember you. Didn't you make a bet with somebody on week 13?
No, ain't nobody stepped to the front for it yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, we gonna see, because you look at it. I look at our division now. We don't know what Washington is going to be with Alex Smith there. Obviously, that still can't be final until the 14th of March. You look at the Giants, you can't get any worse, so you got to get better. You got Odell coming back. Odell's saying he wants $20 million. I agree with him.
Yeah.
Are they going to pay him? We don't know. If I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I told you this last year, Chief. I said this before the preseason. I said, if I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I don't step on the field until I get my deal. He went out there and stepped on the field anyway. He got hurt, ended up, getting hurt and missing the whole year. And, I'm saying the same thing again now. If I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I'm not stepping on that field until I got a new contract. Outside of that,
he have a deal. He'll definitely have a deal.
Outside of that, y'all got McAdoo up out of there, so I think it's going to be a new feeling in that locker room, kind of like when we got Chip Kelly up out of there. It was like a new feeling around the locker room. So if you guys can do good in the draft and do good in free agency and all of that stuff, I mean, you could turn around and be right back. Now, you turn around and you look at Dallas, they're going to be back with Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott. And so our division is going to be tough again this year, man. So, we'll see who makes it out of our division. This might be another one of those years to where we got 2 teams in the playoffs. But I'm still looking at Philly, and I'm wondering, okay, are we going to be the team that we happy that we got our first Super Bowl and we regress? We don't know if Carson Wentz is going to be healthy for the start of the season and all of that stuff, and whether we come out there and stink it up or whether we come out there and be good again, the fans is already happy. So, it's going to be real tough. I'm not even going to make no Super Bowl predictions right now. We still got to see what goes on with the draft and everything and free agency. But I already knew you was going to pick your team to go to the Super Bowl, so that don't surprise me at all.
Oh, yeah, you got to get them in now, man. I don't want to see motherfuckers wait till the season talking about what their team going to do. Angry Black Man said, that 4-day cleanse is fucking with Chief Mind. Giants ain't going nowhere. Who Black Man team? That's what. Who Black Man team? And we welcome Thorny Switch up in the house. DJ Delightful up in the house. Let me see. Who else came? Somebody else came up in the house. Rough Buff talking about Falcons 27, the Giants 10 on week 13. Just because y'all beat the Falcons, Rough Buff, don't think that